Hello everyone, Tanak here. Welcome to episode 98 of Building My Industrial Empire in EVE Online. Let's start with the progress report. As you can see, my net worth plus that of the corporation is at 230 billion ISK. We can see from the tracker here that there is regular progression, and we can see here that we progressed about 4 billion compared to last week. A part of that was me riding and getting some skill point, and the corporation is basic corp income, riding tax, apropos tax, and everything else like that. We are getting pretty close to our peak, which was 240 billion. That was just before we left Pureblind, so we're getting close to that peak here. All in all, pretty good week on the economical aspect of the ISK piling aspect of the game. HR, let's see how it's going. We are now at 361 character in the alliance. It is a +3 compared to last week, but it is more than +3 if you look in game what's happening. Our number have been higher. We did, if you look at the chart here, that's mine. Here we're at 60 right now, but that's like a day ago we're at 65, so it's oscillating. I told you before that we were typically before between 50 and 60. Now we're at a point where we're passing the 60 regularly, so we do have our number are growing a little bit, and we also are talking with a group of people that play together, and they want to join Guns R Us as a group. They should be in Corp probably sometime next week if everything goes according to plan. So we're talking about +8 from the discussion we had, active player that are supposed to join WOMP, which will obviously help a lot with our number. We're looking forward to have these guys in, which will help a lot with our number online. So all in all, the corp is actually climbing, and regularly we're growing, getting back to those numbers. And it's kind of the way it works is we are at the critical mass where more people, it's generate more content, more dynamic group voice chat, more stuff to do in game. So we are in a kind of WOMP as an alliance is kind of in a positive feedback loop right now, where we're climbing regularly, and it does show in game. Unfortunately, it is not the general state of the game. That is very troubling for me. The way when we see that at some lowest of the low, we dipped under 13k online. So that's more not super good for the game in general. The number are pretty low, but us, like the way I see it is, we are climbing even though we have some headwind that is working against us. All in all, for us, pretty good. So that's it for HR. War. This was a very, very interesting week for fights and coalition fleets and war. We did get a lot of local fight in the pocket, because I told you before, Flying Dangerous join Fire. So you got Flying Dangerous here, Lollipop Monopoly, which is also part of Fire. These guys I don't know, but they just got in too. And then in Imensia you got already replaced Black Rose. Celestial Empire is a little further away. So there's a lot of neighboring alliance that are part of Fireco. So these guys do come in catch and try to hunt, try to grab some of our guys, and it generates a lot of small gang fight locally, which is pretty cool. Already replaces like trying to run blops in our system. They sometimes they catch somebody, sometimes they don't. Sometimes we kill their Sino ship. So I mean, it's generally like cool, fun small gang content. Which I mean, that that's actually what we like in games. So it's pretty decent, even though it is there's a lot of it. So I can't complain that we're lacking content this week because there's more Fire Alliance locally or close by than they are Wrecking Crew Alliance. So we do get we do get into they got us to visit and we got 3 of them. So the balance is not the same. But all in all, pretty good fight. I did get to run my first fight as an FC, which wasn't against these guys. These other guys, Spaceship Family, they come roam our space occasionally. And we did undock. Since it was a small fight, not to involve, like nothing big involved, I tried to run the fight myself. It was the first time I FC'd something other than a parade, I would say, where I actually took ship in combat. I was looking a little bit at my hotkeys for broadcasting and stuff. I am at a point where I've been in enough battle that I get like I'm aware of what's going on in space. I do get I understand what I'm doing, but it's not the same thing to jump and calling the shot for the entire group. Looking back at that fight, what I did wrong is we focused on the get-in first because I wanted the juicy kill and I wanted to take off the nuke pressure. I should have gone after the DPS first, so we probably wouldn't have lost the semi. But all in all, my first battle we came out ahead, so I was pretty happy. So that's my little small gang stuff. I got a few fight from coalition battle. Here, this one here was a nice one where we went to help Evictus and Army of Mango. So you got the Wrecking Crew guys here. It went well for Wrecking Crew. It didn't go as well for PIBCs. PIBC, we were fighting Frat, so there was some cap drop from Frat and from PIBC. So Winterco and us, we did manage to kill 2 nags. So that's 2 nag on our kill board. Aside from that, well, that's a result of the battle. I wasn't at that fight personally myself. This one happened in Euro time. And this one is another one where we got an actual our biggest form up that we sent to a coalition fleet. We usually the number that we will send on a coalition fleet varies between depending on the time of the day, or if it's on our prime time, we would send maybe 15, maybe 10. As you get into the later US time zone where it's not our prime time, we do get less people in fleet, but all in all, typically varied between 5 and 15. This fight, we actually sent 21 people to the coalition fleet. Well, the fight was lost. That's different. That's not the point I was talking about. What I'm happy there is that we do manage to get bigger and bigger form up, which is nice because it shows that we can be like a more active member, better contribute more to our coalition, which is the goal that we have right now as an alliance, is to be to be a good member of a good standing member of the coalition, contributing as much as we can and participating. And the guy like to go on these fights. These fights are fun. They win or lose them. I mean, you do get some very nice battles. So we get these fleets battle every 2 or 3 days. Sometimes we get blue ball, sometimes we don't. Sometimes we go bash a structure, nobody show up. But you get those occasional fleet fight like this 3-4 times a week maybe. So all in all, pretty cool. And these are good numbers, like not something like, obviously a little more on our side would have made the fight more more even, but when you keep the total number of ship under 500 and you're not into heavy tie-dye, it's more interesting. So that's pretty much it for the war. So a lot of fight, but not this like fight to help allies or fun fight. Generally speaking, content fight. Not that many big war objectives. At least from what I got to participate in myself. One thing though is me personally right now. I'm pulling long hour at work. It's very busy at work, and at the same time my daughter is preparing to pass her blue belt exam in taekwondo, so I'm spending a lot of night at the dojo with my daughter. So I don't get to play as much. I'm coming on. I do get in game like much later during the evening. Hopefully she's supposed to pass her exam soon, so hopefully I'll get to be able to play more starting next week. I didn't get to play that much. I play like a few hours when I get home, like pretty late, and I go to bed way too late, so I'm tired at work, but still I do need to. I got a job to do in space too, so anyway, so like a recap of the week. We do get 58% dangerous, which is, it was a good week compared to our all-time average. But it's pretty standard that we get weak above 50% right now. The switch that we made to go more to aim more toward quality of our pilot and just not piling numbers to pile numbers. That shift is actually working. Most of our guys are a lot more competent, and we got more variety and like more depth in our junior FC pool. Some of them are starting to be pretty experienced, so they don't have experience like running 100-man fleet, but they can run fleet of 30-40 decently, and they know enough what to do. They know how to call the shot, and they're getting some experience with that. What I would like to have is to have one WOMP FC at least perform at the coalition level. We're not there yet, but that would be interesting for us to develop like a Strat FC in-house, which would be my objective right now. And personally, my weekly was, well, I didn't die, I killed 13 ships, so pretty good. Again, not claiming to be a very badass pilot myself. I'm pretty much still a noob when it comes to, well, I'm not a noob. I mean, I do understand basic tactics in Eve, but I'm not good at executing them, and I'm smart enough to know which fight I can pick and which I can't, which is what you see here and on my result this week. But all in all, and some of these were like, this was a coalition fleet here. So all in all, good week on the military side. Industrial side, not as much. I mean, not as much. It's just that we're not doing it as much. We are producing a lot of stuff in pocket still. We have our facility and they are running. We'd like to shoot for caps. It just isn't work it now. So we do run extensive PI, extensive like we produce fuel block. Most of the stuff we fly is produced locally in pocket. We don't rely on outside, like we don't rely on importing stuff as much. Uh, our market hub is starting to get used a little bit by people from the coalitions because they know that they can come at our place and it's pretty well stocked. So all in all, pretty good. Uh, Personally, I didn't get to fly. I told you I injected in a Paladin last week. I didn't get to fly it. I like most of the time the pocket was just too busy, so I'm not taking that out when there's too many people in pocket. So I'm not really. I mean, it is a big asset, so I'm not risking it unless we feel secure in pocket. But still, I'm progressing very well. Now it's almost 63 million skill point. Oh yeah, I didn't tell you we are under war deck right now, and we don't really care. It's that, I mean, we never go into ISEC, so both of these war, they will they can catch somebody that will ignore the fact that I mean it must work because these guys do declare war, and some people, you'll always catch some people that are not paying attention or not just do silly stuff, but we didn't do silly stuff this week, so all in all they wasted 200 mil and we don't really care. So again, if you want to look at our war history, not my first war deck, and it won't be my last. And been there, done that. Bought the t-shirt. What can you expect next week? Hopefully, we get the new guys that come in, which will increase our number online and increase the amount of stuff that we can run in Corp. I'd like to run more operation in Corp, like more fleet up under WOMP FCs. We do get some small gang stuff, but I'd like some actual ops run by WOMP. Again, we're waiting to see if there's any change into the industry right now to deploy more asset in space, especially to build cap. Right now, it's just not worth it. So we rather stay liquid for a while and not increase our asset footprint because we wouldn't be using them. We wouldn't be no point in incurring an ASBEL if you're not building your cap in them, and no point in building cap right now. We would be contributing to the problem. So you can expect, hopefully, more people that come in, a few more cool fight. I don't know how the hostility with fire will evolve. I mean, for now, it is in a good place. I think probably for them too. Both group get regular content, cool stuff. So. I mean, it's when you get this in Eve, it is actually what you're looking for. There's nothing more boring than crabbing in peace under a capital umbrella where you see nobody all day. That I mean, it is. It's good for your wallet, obviously, but it's good for your wallet short term, but then you get bored, and if you get bored, you want to quit. And if your member get bored as a CEO, you start to have problem with people not logging in and stuff like that. So I rather be in that current situation where we do get some regular content, which is pretty interesting. So we'll see how this evolve during the next week. I'm taking this 1 week at a time. Right now, we don't have any big strategic plan except increasing our own personal power, our contribution to the coalition, and building our own like training our own cap level FC. That is one of my objective for the next month. I would say month or two. hopefully you guys enjoy. I've been rambling enough for today, so hope you guys enjoy and see you next week. Bye bye.